Daniel has just returned to Macau after spending several years serving overseas in the armed forces. Hoping to build a peaceful life, he applies for a teaching position at his old school, Harbor View Secondary Academy. The headmaster is hesitant at first, pointing out Daniel's lack of classroom experience. However, after reviewing a recommendation letter from a respected government official, the headmaster agrees to hire him. Before Daniel leaves the office, he is warned that the class assigned to him is the most troublesome group in the entire school. On his first morning, Daniel walks into total chaos. Several students are asleep on their desks. A few are blasting music and singing loudly. 2 are gaming on handheld consoles. Others are boiling instant noodles using a portable cooker near the window. Even after noticing him, they pretend he doesn't exist. Daniel tries introducing himself, but no one responds. Instead of yelling, he calmly walks around and comments on what they're doing. He advises the students cooking noodles to reduce how often they eat processed food because of the salt content. He helps a boy named Rafi tune his small guitar. He warns another student about spending too many hours staring at a screen. Gradually, the room quiets down. Daniel writes his name and phone number on the board. The class bursts into laughter at his messy handwriting. One student mockingly calls his phone, telling him to leave. Daniel simply chuckles. When they start ignoring him again, he suddenly uses a rubber band to flick a piece of chalk at the classroom smoke detector, activating the sprinkler system. Water rains down, and students scramble to avoid getting soaked. For the first time, they are fully focused. Daniel officially welcomes them to his class. After school, 5 of the lowest-ranked students gather inside the equipment storage room to smoke. Their unofficial leader, Leo, secretly likes a top-performing student from another class. The others tease him mercilessly. They share an ongoing rivalry with the wealthy students from the school's basketball squad. The athletes walk in, mocking Leo for being poor. Later during practice, Leo tosses a bottle onto the court, causing the team captain to trip. The 5 boys laugh, but they're immediately caught and assigned attention by the English teacher, Ms. Wong. To escape punishment, they play a prank on her and slip away while she's distracted. Meanwhile, the principal is anxious because the education board is considering cutting 20% of the school's funding. Inspectors arrive to examine the campus. At that exact moment, Daniel walks into his classroom, unaware that a bucket of water has been rigged above the door. Thanks to his military reflexes, he dodges it just in time. The students stare in shock. Daniel calmly asks Leo for his cigarette pack. Without hesitation, Leo hands it over. Daniel then asks Rafi to list the chemicals commonly found in cigarettes. When he answers correctly, Daniel allows him to leave early. The rest of the class bangs their desks, demanding the same privilege. Instead, Daniel hands each of them a cigarette and tells them to analyze it. Rather than lecturing about health risks, he asks them what smoking actually does inside the lungs. He explains how it accumulates and damages breathing capacity. For the first time, the students are genuinely interested. After the bell rings, they reluctantly return the cigarettes. During lunch, the basketball captain deliberately trips one of Leo's friends, Ethan. An argument explodes into a full cafeteria brawl. Food and chairs fly everywhere. As a result, 5 students from Daniel's class are suspended. Daniel later finds Leo fighting in the hallway and pulls him away. Leo vents his frustration, claiming the school always protects the wealthy students while punishing the poor. That evening, Daniel reviews the backgrounds of the 5 students. Rafi comes from an immigrant family. His father works multiple jobs and is constantly accused of petty theft by local authorities. Rafi dreams of becoming a professional musician. A girl named Mina has struggled her whole life to gain her father's approval because he always wanted a son. She cut her hair short and acted tough, hoping to earn his respect, but he continues favoring her younger brother. Brothers Ethan and Noah grew up with an alcoholic father after their mother abandoned the family. Ethan escapes reality through video games, while Noah works part-time to support them. Daniel, however, can't find any official records about Leo's home life. We soon discover Leo working secretly as a waiter at a small restaurant. One night, a wealthy underground fight gambler named Mr. Chong visits with business partners. Leo attempts to steal his expensive lighter, but gets caught. Instead of calling the police, Mr. Chong beats him, checks his ID, then oddly gives him money and offers him a job delivering packages. Elsewhere, Daniel visits Rafi's home and sees him being chased by his father after stealing money for a concert ticket. Daniel initially defends him, but later sides with the father after learning the full story. Later, Daniel takes Rafi to a nearby bridge, where a street band is performing. To encourage him, Daniel grabs a microphone and starts singing confidently. After hesitating, Rafi joins in, performing publicly for the first time since being bullied years ago. At the same time, Ethan and Noah's father returns home drunk and demands beer. When they refuse, he throws them out. The next day, Daniel meets their father and persuades him to enter rehabilitation for the sake of his sons. Meanwhile, Mina's father surprises her by bringing home a bag of makeup. Mina's father brings home a bag of beauty products and tells her to try acting like a proper girl for once. Mina explodes in anger. Her whole life, she has tried to become the son he wanted, cutting her hair short, dressing differently, hiding her true self, and yet she still isn't enough. Out of frustration, she puts the makeup on her younger brother instead and secretly takes her father's car keys. Just as she is about to drive off without a license, Daniel appears and blocks the car. Instead of scolding her harshly, he calmly reminds her that driving illegally could ruin her future. Then he offers a different solution. Soon after, they arrive at a go-kart track. Daniel has secretly invited Mina's father as well. He challenges them to race each other. The father and daughter compete fiercely, neither willing to lose. During the race, Mina's kart spins out of control and crashes beyond the track barrier. A maintenance vehicle nearly collides with her, but she swerves away at the last second. Her father, thinking she has been seriously injured, panics and breaks down in tears. When Mina removes her helmet and walks toward him safely, he hugs her tightly without hesitation. For the first time, she realizes that beneath his strict expectations, he truly loves her. The next day, Ethan and Noah, along with a few classmates, are assigned to visit a rehabilitation center for a school project. They are shocked when the recovering alcoholic they must interview turns out to be their own father. The man explains that he once loved his wife deeply, but when she left during his lowest moment, he turned to alcohol to escape the pain. He admits that he failed as a father and apologizes to the boys, though he never directly reveals their relationship during the interview. By the end of the session, both brothers are in tears. Meanwhile, Leo continues working under Mr. Chong, the underground fight gambler. Chong offers him a large sum of money to spike a fighter's drink before an upcoming match. Leo hesitates, but feels trapped by his circumstances. On fight night, Chong publicly sponsors a fighter, while secretly betting on his defeat. Leo drugs the fighter's water bottle, but is caught in the act. Before he can expose Chong, he is beaten and locked inside a storage locker. Later, Daniel arrives searching for his student. The fighters tell him to leave. From inside the locker, Leo shouts for help. Daniel quickly realizes the situation. A brutal fight breaks out. Though outnumbered, Daniel uses his military training to dodge attacks and overpower the men. Eventually, he knocks out their top fighter, who was supposed to enter the ring minutes later. The scene cuts to a hospital where Daniel is being treated for his injuries. Leo attempts to reveal Chong's involvement, but is silenced out of fear. News spreads quickly. Daniel becomes known as the teacher who defeated a professional fighter to protect his student. Back at school, his reputation changes overnight. The students now stand when he enters the classroom. A flashback reveals that Daniel himself was once a rebellious prankster in high school. During a school event, he threw water balloons at a talented piano student performing for parents. Later, a fight broke out between them, and Daniel accidentally broke the boy's arm. He was suspended and soon after sent overseas, a turning point in his life. With renewed motivation, the class begins preparing seriously for the college entrance exam. Everyone improves, except Ethan. It is revealed that while Noah escaped into video games, Ethan fell into drug addiction. His performance in the mock exam is disastrous. Daniel promises to support him, but Ethan sinks deeper into depression. One night, overwhelmed with guilt and hopelessness, Ethan jumps from his apartment balcony. He survives but falls into a coma. The media distorts the story, blaming the school and Daniel for pressuring students too much. The education board launches an investigation and revokes Daniel's teaching license. When Daniel packs his belongings and leaves the campus, the students chase after him, begging him to stay. Though heartbroken, they make a promise. They will prove his teaching made a difference. From that day on, they study twice as hard. On the morning of the national entrance exam, Leo and the others receive a text message from Daniel asking them to meet at school an hour before the test. When they gather, they realize it was a trap set by Mr. Chong to lock them inside the building and make them miss the exam. Revenge against Daniel. Daniel arrives just in time and discovers the scheme. He frees the students and tells them to run to the exam center. He stays behind to face Chong and his men. A final one-on-one fight begins. During the confrontation, Chong reveals the truth. He was the piano student Daniel humiliated years ago. After his arm was broken, he missed a major competition and abandoned music entirely. He has blamed Daniel for destroying his dream ever since. Daniel sincerely apologizes and admits his past mistakes. During the struggle, he gains control of a knife and has the opportunity to kill Chong, but he refuses. Instead, he drops the weapon and walks away. Meanwhile, the students arrive at the examination hall just in time and complete the test. Weeks later, the results are announced. The entire class passes with outstanding scores. Ethan awakens from his coma and begins recovery, promising to retake the exam next year. Chong, inspired by Daniel's words, quietly returns to playing the piano, though he struggles to regain his former skill. The Education Board, impressed by the dramatic improvement in results, awards the school an additional 20% in funding. Daniel's teaching license is reinstated. In the final scene, Daniel enters a new chaotic classroom of freshmen. Students ignore him just like before. He smiles, pulls out a rubber band and a piece of chalk. The sprinklers activate, once again.